Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2020, the album Dad AF. Rock on, Gold Dust Woman. Look how red my face just got. How are you guys doing today? Let me put on a little chapstick, lippy, before I get, that went far, before I, as have I just got back from Dallas, Texas. Hey Dallas, how are you guys doing? We had a fantastic weekend. We went there for a wedding, and then one of our good Judies took us out on Thursday night and Saturday night. I think we saw every gay bar in the Dallas, Texas area. We had a really great time. People were so nice to us. We stayed at the Jewel in downtown Dallas. It is a phenomenal hotel. It's beautiful, beautiful hotel. But I do want to give a little shout out before I get into this video today. So yesterday before we were flying back, we left our hotel and we walked down the street to this restaurant that was recommended to us. It was called Over Easy. It was a little brunch place. It was so fantastic. The food was so amazing. Our server, his name was Taylor. Hey, Taylor. I'm sure he has no clue who I am, but he was so nice. And we just had a really, really great time at this restaurant. And so I'm sitting there, and I kept on noticing this really cute girl that was like sitting down for me. I was like, she's so adorable. And so she stands up and she walks over to me and she was like, I just had to come over and say hi to you because I noticed you with your sunglasses and your hat on. And I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, I watch all of your videos. I love all of your videos. And so we sat there and talked for a second. Her name was Reardon, and I want to give a big shout out to Reardon. Thank you, Reardon, for coming up. Not rear end, okay? Her name is not rear end. Her name is Reardon. And she came up and she said, you say that nobody ever comes up to you, so I thought maybe I would make your day. I was like, oh, you totally made my day. Thank you so much. And then she messaged me on Twitter, and she was like, you were so nice, whatever. I said to her, I go, do I seem any different in person than I do in videos? She's like, no, you're exactly the same. So anyway, let's get into that. I need a little bit of my coffee in my pink cup today. Not my pinkity drinkity, but I did, over on my review channel, I did review, it's shake and bake, and I'll help. My friend Tanya, she used to have one of those things back in the day. Do you remember those things that you do? Nah, that's family friendly. You know those things you like that should be like, it just came out all over. Ah! Squirted, family friendly. But do you remember those things back in the day would like tighten up your, it didn't work for me. But anyway, I just reviewed on my review channel the new and improved pink drink, okay, which I like to refer to as the pinkity drinkity stinkity, okay. Now James Charles, he made the pinkity drinkity famous, but the new one supposedly tastes, okay, exactly chia. It's supposed to taste exactly, I don't know who I'm pointing to. Don't ever point to people, it's so rude, okay? And don't call people people, but listen people, anyway. I tried the new Starbucks, it's the new and improved secret menu pinkity drinkity pink drink, okay? And it's supposed to taste just like a pink Starburst. So go check out my review and you will find out if it does or not. So anyway, all right, I also have 3 other channels other than that and this, you know. So anyway, it is good to be back in this chair. I just went and got the dogs. They are running around here with their new little bandanas on. They got groomed today. We're having the time of our life. I'm happy to be back in Indianapolis, Indiana to prepare for my next trip. This is the year of travel for my husband and I. I'm so excited. And so many people asked me if I would do like a little meet and greet in Dallas, and I'm so shy, you guys. I know it doesn't seem that way, but I really am, and I have a lot of social anxiety. But my husband was kind enough to gift me a trip to Phoenix, Arizona for me to go and finally meet my true crime book club partner, Mel, and I'm going to be going there in like 3 weeks. I'm so excited. He will be at a music festival in San Diego with his brother-in-law. So anyway, I'm going there to meet her, and I'm thinking about maybe doing like a little meet and greet in the Phoenix area because I can grab her and have her go with me, and then I won't be so shy. So anyway, if you guys would like to see that, put that in the comment section below, and I will arrange like a small little meet and greet. It probably won't be at the Morphe store or anything like that, but I have to tell you, I did go to the Morphe store in Dallas at the North Park Mall where I got my new pair of Golden Goose sneakers. I finally got them. I wanted them so bad. But anyway, you can go over to my vlog and see them. But I have to tell you, okay, I have never been in a Morphe store before. When I was in Vegas the last time, I like walked along and I went and looked at it, but it was, my husband's calling me right now, I have to wait. But it was closed when we walked by it, so I didn't get to go in. So this time I went in and it was very, very interesting. Now I understand why Jaclyn Hill loves Morphe so much, okay? Because literally the first half of the store is all Jaclyn Hill stuff. Jeffree Star, who we're going to be talking about today, he's kind of shoved back in the corner somewhere, but Jaclyn Hill, she is like the first half of the Morphe store. At least the one at the Dallas North Park Mall. I thought it was interesting, and the store was so small. But the Sephora store, it is absolutely huge at the North Park Mall. It's like the biggest Sephora I've ever seen in my entire life, which is a long life. Okay, let's get into this video today. Today we're going to talk about Jeffree Star. Now I have to tell you, I was going to do like this update drama video because there are so many things I want to talk about, okay? I want to talk about these 2 issues with Jeffree Star, number 1. Number 2, I want to talk about issues with Jaclyn Hill and her palette. Number 3, I definitely want to talk about Wendy Williams and what happened with that whole fiasco, if y'all know what I'm talking about, their show last week. I also want to talk about Thomas Halbert and some things that happened to him last night with not supposedly paying an artist that he had commissioned to do some like logos and things for him. So I want to talk about that. That will probably be a video tomorrow that I'm going to do. What else did I want to talk about? There's been so many things that have happened. Oh, I have some secret drama that's been sent to me about a couple different things. Nikocado Avocado, I want to talk about him too, because he seemed to be like going downhill, I mean rapidly, with like these tweets that were kind of like all over the place. And then he posted this video, which I haven't finished watching yet, but he said that he's trying to kind of like rectify what's been going on. So hey, listen, I'm all about giving people other chances. So those are some of the things I kind of want to talk about. If you have other drama that you'd like to see me cover, put it in the comment section below. But those will be the next couple days. And I might actually do 2 videos today. We'll have to see. It will probably be tomorrow. It will be a 2 for Tuesday. Okay, so at 6 minutes and 32 seconds, let's get in this video. Jeffree Star, Jaclyn Hill, Manny Mue. Okay, we went to this one bar in Dallas, I have to tell you, and the bar was called the Wrangler or something like that. It was like kind of like this country bar. It was really cute though, actually. There are some cute gay cowboys in Texas. I thought maybe that was a stereotype, but no, there really were. But anyway, the dance floor is packed. And the last song they played was Dolly Parton's I Will Always Love You, and I fell out. I was like, oh my God, this is so fantastic. So anyway, make sure that you follow me on Instagram, because I always show all that kind of stuff over my Instagram stories. I showed us all dancing and being crazy and whatever. Okay, so anyway, Jeffree Star has been under much controversy. Number 1, because he put out the Bloodlust palette, which was supposed to be all purples, and people are criticizing it and saying that it's not all purples, and that it's just, you know, like, that there could have been more purple in it, blah, 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 whatever. And Jeffree Star didn't come right out and address it. Now, one of the things that's interesting about this is that people always say that Jeffree Star doesn't come right out and address things, like he like thinks it through, whatever, which I would have to say, when he decides to address things from a professional point of view, I do think that he takes like a day or 2 or a week, and then he kind of addresses it in the way that he wants to. And it's really a control tactic, actually. I mean, from a business owner, it's a very, very smart move, that what you're doing then is you're owning the response. You're saying, I will respond to this when I choose to respond to it. Okay, you're not going to force me into any response, right? Which I think has been one of the biggest mistakes that we've seen with beauty influencers in the last couple years, is that they rush into these apologies. They rush into these, you know, let me explain this, let me explain that, instead of kind of like sitting in the moment and then deciding how they're going to respond to it. So Jeffree Star came out in a video with Mitchell, and he kind of addressed some of these issues, and we're going to talk about that in a second. The second thing that Jeffree Star is being criticized for that he is not addressing is the fact that in his promo picture for the Bloodlust palette, one of the pictures, he has extensions and edges, and people are criticizing him for cultural appropriation. So I'm going to read an article about that, let you guys tell me what you think about that. And then he also had braids in a picture that when he was in Las Vegas for Valentine's Day weekend. And I think it's an important issue to talk about, because I think, in all honesty, like, if this were any other YouTuber, beauty influencer, or whatever, they would literally be raked across the coals for this, okay? But the fact that it's Jeffree Star, I think he gets a lot of leeway for stuff like, in all honesty, I really do, okay? Trisha Paytas came out, you know, I think it was 6 months or a year ago, and she was wearing a wig that was very similar to the hair that Bo Derek had in the movie 10 in the 80s, okay? And that was who she was trying to emulate with the wig and the pictures and things like that, and people came at her, and they said, this is cultural appropriation, and you shouldn't be wearing this, and blah, 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 whatever. And she came out and said it was a wig, and she explained it, right? And Trisha got a lot of backlash for that. But then we go to somebody like Jeffree Star, and people excuse it away. And I think that it's interesting to me, you know? I was thinking actually about this, because when I very first started doing beauty influencer drama, I was actually addressing this whole situation that had happened with Kat Von D and Jeffree Star, and it was the fallout of their friendship. And if anybody remembers what that was about, it was over a logo designer, okay, that she was friends with, that was also, I believe, I could be wrong, it's been so long, I don't remember, that was also a tattoo artist that Jeffree had like commissioned to do this thing, right? Okay, so it was all this fiasco over this logo. Flash forward, okay, 3 years, Thomas Halbert last night was getting just raked across the coals for this very similar situation where he hadn't paid this artist that he had commissioned, you know? But here you have Thomas Halbert that really nobody wants to hear, you know, any kind of answer for, and they're just like letting him have it. And then you have Jeffree Star over here that like if something like that happened, they're like, oh, but you don't really understand the whole story and whatever. I think we make exceptions for those that we love. And with Thomas Halbert too, like when I was going in this comment section, you know, the people that are super fans, people were like, oh, Thomas, it's okay, don't worry about it, blah, 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 whatever. I guess we don't really live in this world anymore where right is right and wrong is wrong, and that, like, you know, we know the difference. Maybe we don't know the difference between what is right and what is wrong anymore, right? And that, like, we just, if we love somebody so much, we excuse away behavior that's not appropriate. So I think that's interesting, especially when it's in this world of fandom, you know, and not just these two. I mean, talk about Tana Mojo, Jake Paul, all of these people, Emma Chamberlain. I mean, I cannot tell you how many messages I got from Emma Chamberlain's fans when I talked about the coffee, okay? The coffee that she put out, that people are not receiving the products that they had paid for. And people were like, you shouldn't talk about Emma this way. Why are you talking about Emma this way? Okay, so you're excusing bad business practices. Now, granted, they're probably a lot younger because she is. But you are excusing this person's poor business practices because you're a super fan. Like, that is always interesting to me. And if you follow the beauty influencer community closely, you see this happen all the time. Some people are held to a different regard than others are, and I think it's crap, you know? I really do. And I think that everybody should be held to somewhat of the same standard. So this was interesting to me when this all came out. So Jeffree Star, he addresses this, you know, bloodlust palette. Now, I will tell you, in my time of covering all of this beauty influencer drama, Jeffree Star has improved, I would say, in the last 6 months from, and I'm gonna say 6 months, because I would say before that, it was up and down, right? And just reacting to people on the internet. He isn't doing that as much, you know, on Twitter specifically. He's kind of like sitting and not responding or reacting right away. He's just kind of, I would say before he was reactionary, and then he would delete a tweet. He's not doing that anymore. He's kind of thinking it through and then coming out and responding to it later. So he responded to this, and I want to read this article, or just part of it. It's from Cosmopolitan online. Jeffree Star responds to bloodlust palette criticism. And it says, 2020 has been a while for Jeffree Star, blah, blah, blah. He goes in here and it says all this kind of stuff about the breakup in the mansion. And we're only 6 weeks in. And breakup from Nathan in the mansion and all this kind of stuff, European tour. But in true Jeffree Star style, what's all the hype with a little controversy? The bloodlust showstopper, his 18-pan hexagon eyeshadow palette, has raised a few eyebrows in a Jeffree Star fandom. That's because those who love Jeffree for his dramatic out there shades have found the color story a little underwhelming. Despite being the third installment in the Jeffree Star Cosmetics bloodline, this purple palette doesn't adhere to a color code as strict as its blue and red sisters. And this devastation from the norm didn't go down well with all of Jeffree's, and it has this, I don't know, Jeffree's fans, with some taking to Twitter to express their disappointment. And this is a quote from Twitter. I thought there were going to be lots of dark, rich purples and golds to complement them from the packaging. This looks like the Jawbreaker palette's little sister, wrote one fan in response to his reveal video. One fan made an illustration of how she expected bloodlust to look, which quickly gained a momentum online. That's actually on the Beauty Guru Reddit, and it's really interesting. And she made it like a palette, like a normally shaped palette instead of the hexagon that it is. In response to, I guess it's Brittany, I'm sorry, Brittany Nikki. In response to Brittany's illustration, another fan tweeted, I was thinking this during the reveal. I love Jeffree and he puts out amazing products, but I was disappointed in the colors of the purple blood sister. I don't think it got the color dedication the other bloods have. Wish there was more purple. Also, don't think we need 3 lavenders. Never wanted to leave his fans in the dark. The makeup mogul took to Instagram stories to get the record straight. I'm seeing 90% everyone is dying, gagging, and living, and I'm seeing 10% Jeffree, we wanted a few more purples in the palette, he began. Okay. Now, since I said it's about Jacqueline, I'm going to say it about Jeffree. Where are y'all coming up with these numbers, okay? If you're going to come up with numbers as a business owner like 90 and 10%, you can't do that, okay? When you're going to get in a video with Shane Dawson and you're going to be completely transparent and you're going to say, like, this is how much it costs, and this, you cannot just throw out numbers. You can't, okay? It's really, to me, and I think this is something that I'm going to start really watching for with these beauty influencers when they want to just throw these numbers out, because this is the thing, okay? When Jacqueline Cosmetics comes out and they say, we only had complaints from such and such amount of people, or Jeffree Star says, only such and such amount of people complained about it, but 90% love it, right? What you do in that moment is that those numbers no longer mean anything. So that quote means absolutely nothing to this one right here, okay? Because there's no poll taken, there's nothing. If there was a poll taken that said how many, yeah, I would believe it, that 90%, I believe it probably higher than that. Jeffree's fans are so devoted to him that I believe it probably would be like 96, 97% that would say they were totally fine with the palette, right? So, but you can't just throw numbers out like that. I fully get what a lot of you are saying, he said. I wanted to make a palette that could complement any pink, any purple, any magenta, and fuchsia look. And I think maybe the photography is translating a little light on a few of the shades, but when you see them all in person and you touch them, and the shifts, and the metallic, and the lavenders, it's everything I dreamed of. And just to tease us, Jeffree dropped some hints about his next palette. I didn't want to go full dark goth. I know some of you were maybe expecting that, but if you want a crazy goth moment, get ready for the next palette after this one, because everybody's going to have that one too. However, not everybody was disappointed, and most are still desperate to get their hands on Bloodlust. And then it goes in here, and people are saying Bloodlust is literally so gorgeous. I'm really about to go broke when it comes out, and on. Now, if you watch my last video where I talked about the release of it compared to the Jaclyn Hill release, I said I thought it was beautiful too. I thought that the video that he did was beautiful. I thought that everything about it. I think the colors were really stunning. I did think that there weren't a lot of purples in it. I thought it was interesting, you know, that you're going to come out with a purple line. The Bloodlust had a lot of red in it, or a lot of red tones. Or not the Bloodlust, the Blood Sugar palette had a lot of reds to it. So it's interesting to me that it didn't have a lot of purples on it. But, you know, I also understand what he's saying. So let me know what you think in the comment section below about that. Were you underwhelmed? Do you wish there were more purples? And this is my one comment about, like, the dark goth moment thing is, if that's what you were trying to achieve with this, why are you coming out with another palette to do? Why didn't you just do that with this? Or, oh, here's another palette you have to have that's going to be $50. You know, it's like, and then people are going to say, well, this is so dark, I wish I had had a lighter moment. Ah, but wait for the summer palette, because there's going to be a really light moment then. You know, it's always like, what do you need next? It's genius marketing. It's absolutely genius marketing. And what he's doing with that is he's taking this controversy and he's turning it into a marketing stunt, so to speak, about getting people excited about his next release. So I don't think it's, you know, stupid from a business point of view, but I do understand why people are upset about it, because they look at it and they're like, well, I wanted all this purple, and there's really more purple, and I said this in my video, on the set, and in the clothing, and everything like that, and in the hair that he had on, or the hair that he had, than everything else. Like, it didn't seem as purple as, you know, that. Okay, then the next controversy that he is in was for this hair, and let me show you this. So this is first the promo picture that he wore for the Bloodlust palette, and then here is a picture from when he was in Las Vegas this weekend, and this is from Insider magazine. I took these pictures. And there's an article that says Jeffree Star wore cornrows in Las Vegas amid accusations of cultural appropriation in his latest makeup campaign. And it goes in here. It's going to quote Jen Love's reviews in just a second, a lot about what she said. So, beauty guru Jeffree Star has been promoting his upcoming Bloodlust makeup collection launch, but the promotional photos include a shot of him wearing dreadlocks and laid edges. Both styles are traditionally worn by people of color and associated with black hairstyles, and Star was quickly criticized for cultural appropriation, including by another beauty YouTuber. Star, who has had to apologize for racist remarks in the past, has not addressed the criticism, but he uploaded Instagram and Snapchat stories of himself wearing cornrows, another traditional black style. I think that's him addressing it. The front page of Jeffree Star Cosmetics currently advertises the upcoming Bloodlust makeup collection, and it shows beauty mogul Jeffree Star perched on a throne wearing purple-tinged dreadlocks with laid edges, two hair techniques traditionally associated with black hairstyles. Star, who is no stranger to controversy, is now being criticized for cultural appropriation. In this case, he's directly marketing a product using a black hairstyle he never usually wears. Beauty YouTuber Jen Love's Reviews was one of the largest voices to call out Star for the dreadlocks and laid edges, writing on Twitter that, even if you don't get it, even if you think it's silly, if you know that something you do is going to upset people of another culture, just don't do it. You don't have to understand, Jen, who has more than 250,000 subscribers, continued to say on her tweet, or continued on to say in the tweet, you not understanding is irrelevant. You don't have to understand to be kind and respectful. Rather than address concerns, Star wore another black hairstyle, feeding into his controversial reputation around race yet again. A YouTube drama account also made a thread explaining why the dreadlocks were a bad call. Given Star's, I have no idea who that is. Given Star's past apology for resurfaced racist remarks that he labeled disgusting, vile, nasty, and embarrassing, and more recent controversies, some involving beauty guru Jackie Aina, that have resulted in him being labeled a racist online. And to clarify the issues in the combination of the laid edges and the dreads together, a reply in the thread says, most of the backlash I have seen has been because of the edges more than the dreads. Laying edges in this style is unique to black hairstyles, so I don't want to hear about Nordic hairstyles. Star has been active daily on social media since the launch release, but has yet to address the criticism of his hair in the campaign. However, he has been celebrating Valentine's Day weekend in Las Vegas and appeared in his Snapchat and Instagram stories wearing another hairstyle associated with black culture, cornrows. And then they put that picture up. So it isn't the first time Star has worn cornrows or been criticized for doing so. The last time he faced accusations of cultural appropriation over cornrows, he responded to a Twitter user who said they were black and didn't have an issue with the hairstyle, with Star writing, haha, preach. Young kids trying to be mad at something always. During his most recent Instagram story while wearing cornrows, Star said he would address some tea about the Bloodlust campaign in a new video. And that's what we talked about earlier. So anyway, what do you guys think about that? You know, it's an interesting topic. I think when we want to compare it across the board to other people that have been held to the same standard, I think we have to think about that when we address these issues. And what do you think about what Jen Love's reviews had to say about all that? Put that in the comment section below. And I may be going to make another video today. I'm not sure. I may wait till tomorrow. And if I do wait till tomorrow, it will be just another manic Tuesday, 2 for Tuesday. Anyway, I love you guys, and I will see you then. Bye.